Oh, yes. This is the stuff. Parties and music are nice and all, but nothing beats a quiet moment away from the trouble when it gets too much. Oh, sorry. I didn't notice there was already someone out here. I didn't disturb you or anything, did I? Good, good. Why are you sitting out here all by yourself? Is everything alright? I guess that's true. I am here too, so who am I to talk? I just worry too much about people, so don't pay me too much mind. It's just that I don't think we've met before, and I've at least greeted everyone inside, so that means... Have you been hiding outside the entire time? Not the entire time, but almost? I'm sorry for asking this again, but are you sure you're okay? It's just a bit unusual to go to a party and then spend all the time trying not to be there. Oh, so you just felt overwhelmed by all the people and noise inside? Nothing wrong with that. I can totally understand the feeling. I am also here to catch a break after all. What was I worried about? I don't know. Just that you were avoiding the people inside because you were unhappy, I guess. I have met people who behaved in a similar way because they got into a fight with someone or were bullied out of the party. But as long as you're satisfied by yourself, I don't think there's anything to worry about. We all have different happy places after all. Of course I'm not judging you. Why would I do that? Just because too much social interaction drains your energy? When it comes down to it, I would rather lead an enjoyable conversation with someone calm, like you, rather than take part in another chaotic drinking game. What does me being pretty have to do with not knowing what I'm talking about? I mean, thank you, but that doesn't mean I can't understand your predicament. It's a matter of personality type, not looks. Oh, you don't believe me? Then let me guess. You were invited to the party by someone you know very well. You were happy to receive an invitation, but also felt slightly pressured by it to attend. In the end, you decided to come despite your doubts, but your friend was preoccupied with other people, so you quickly ran out of energy because meeting so many new people stressed you out. Then, you retreated into the garden to catch your breath, but noticed that deep down, you liked the silent solitude much more than mingling with people you barely know. So, you just stayed right here until it felt too awkward to go back. Does that sound about right? What was that? I can't hear your apology if you mumble it like that. That's what I'm talking about. I might not be a traditional introvert, but that doesn't mean I can't appreciate some calm and quiet. The only real difference between us is that social interaction doesn't drain me as much. Yeah, I guess I do get the best of both worlds. I'm glad you understand now. It's not good to judge people based on their public appearance. I mean, yes, it's true that a lot about traditionally popular people is superficial. How we dress, what we talk about, how much attention we pay to our looks, etc. But just because the culture might be superficial doesn't mean that the people are. What do I mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? You do realize that everyone at this party has spent roughly the same amount of time on this earth as you, right? They've all had experiences you don't know, passions you will never share, and secrets they'll never speak of. Everyone feels joy and despair, love and hate, pride and shame, and so many other emotions. By reducing people to what they talk about in public, you accidentally become the same kind of superficial that you despise about them. You need a minute to think about it? That's alright. I did just dump a lot of philosophical weight on you. I'll just look at the stars while you figure it out. Do I think you're a superficial person? No, why would you think that? I only said that your mind walked into a trap that made you act like one. Believe me, it's a difference. Just look at this deep conversation we're having right now. We're exchanging actual ideas and talking about high-level concepts. It doesn't even matter that I'm part of the quote-unquote popular group and you're not. Don't say that. I really don't like that term because it's just plain wrong. The whole idea of dividing ourselves into stereotypes like that is stupid in the first place. No one is just a nerd, just a goth, just a metalhead, or just a popular boy. How should I explain this? Oh, yeah. So, you know how there are these distinct classes in D&D? Every character is either a rogue, a wizard, a barbarian, or one of the other 10 classes, if I remember correctly. 13 in total? Right, thanks, I wasn't sure. Anyway, whatever class you choose determines what your character can do. A fighter can never cast spells, a wizard can never heal, and a monk can never give bardic inspiration. Yes, I know multi-classing and some subclasses technically exist, but I'm trying to make a point here, so shush. In reality, people aren't like that. We aren't born into any role, and we don't choose one either. It's more like Skyrim. Have you played it? I've only played the main story and some side quests once, but the important part is that you don't choose a class for your character. Every character ends up with different roles and abilities because of the choices they make and the skills they learn. But they aren't constricted by those things. You can always choose to level a new skill, and the game even encourages it. And that is what people are like in real life. They might have different personalities, abilities, and roles, but deep down, we're all the same. Yes! We picked different skills from the same list to build our character, if you so want. I'm glad my kind of chaotic explanation made even a little bit of sense to you. It can be hard to put these concepts into words, even if you understand them yourself. Guess my parents were wrong when they told me that video games would never be useful in the real world. You look surprised. Is it so hard to believe that I play games in my spare time? Well, it's not really that often, but I do dabble in it from time to time. I just never had anyone in my friend group who shared that interest, so I didn't really talk about it. I guess it would make sense that you didn't really take me for the type. Do I play D&D? This isn't going to raise your opinion of me, but no. Everything I know about the game comes from watching a bit of Critical Role. I asked around once to see if anyone I know would be interested in trying it, but no one wanted to. You wouldn't happen to know people who would like to play D&D, right? You do? That's amazing! I am 100% in if you ever plan to start something. I'm serious. I have so many filled out character sheets lying around at home. Well, not literally lying around. They're neatly packed into a folder. Can't have my room cluttered like that. What would I like to play as? Let me think. Most of the characters I built are either wizards or barbarians, so probably one of those. Maybe I'll choose that high elf evocation wizard. I think she would be very interesting to play. What do you mean, basic? Shut up, I'm new, so I'm allowed to be basic. Man, I am so happy to finally know someone who shares my interest in that stuff. It can get kinda boring to play games or watch anime by myself. I mean, yeah, I do go out with friends a lot, but I have Sundays reserved as me time. It keeps both hobbies from bleeding into each other, and all my friends know it. So, I usually just end up lazing around all day. Oh, you don't believe me? I guess you need to come over sometime then to check for yourself. I have a collection of onesies, but I think you might need to bring your own. We don't really have the same size after all. We could do a sleepover and play games all night. I've never really done one of these LAN parties that people keep talking about. There's so many things I want to try out. Only if you're comfortable with them, of course. You need to think about it for a bit? I understand. It might be a bit much for me to invite you to my house just after talking for the first time. No, don't apologize. I got a little bit too excited there. Take all the time you need. I can wait. We could get to know each other a bit better first, if that would make you more comfortable. How about I introduce you to my other friends? Do you think you're about ready to head back inside? No? Then I'll stay outside a bit longer too. I am way too invested in this. In you, to just stop this thing we're having. Oh yes, we're absolutely having a thing. Have you not noticed me trying to flirt with you since a few minutes ago? How I slowly slid closer to you on the bench, or tried to put my hand on yours? Oh, so you think I would invite anyone I just met to a sleepover? No, my friend. I'm only this playful with people I'm comfortable with. How do I know? I've always been pretty good at reading others, and since I spend a lot of time around different people, I also have a lot of experience doing it. So, I can tell that you're a good person. And yes, I am interested to see where this will go. I would consider us friends already, but maybe there's more on the horizon. And just why would that be so hard to believe? I've tried relationships before, but they just never worked out for me. Maybe because I always tried them with people I knew beforehand, meaning extroverts. So, they might just not be my type. Maybe introverts are my type, meaning you. You are so cute when you blush like that. Relax. This isn't something we have to decide immediately. Just go with the flow and see where it takes us. Maybe we'll become friends, maybe we'll become lovers, but I'm sure we'll become something. It seems this kind of straightforward flirting is much more effective against you than shitty puns and subtle hints. You're really weak against compliments, aren't you? I'll keep that in mind for later. I always act kind of flirty with my other friends, but we keep it relatively subtle and, well, superficial in a way. We don't really talk about actual feelings and just give each other friendly compliments and more or less try smooth pickup lines if we see an opportunity. It's all just good fun, but I guess it did make me a lot more perceptive about the whole thing. I immediately recognize signs of people flirting with me, even if they try to be subtle about it. That's another reason why I like talking to you so much. You didn't try anything just because I was here, but were genuinely interested in our conversation. Aw, thank you for saying that. I do try to be an enjoyable and interesting conversation partner. But it is getting a bit cold out here. Would you mind coming back in with me? I would love to talk to you more, and I don't want to leave you out here all by yourself. What if someone else comes and snatches you up for themselves after I just started to like you? That would be horrible, wouldn't it? Oh, I know that wouldn't happen. Probably. But seriously, come back inside. You were probably out here too long to notice, but it is really cold, and I don't want to worry about you. Besides, I bet my friends would love you. They're a very friendly bunch, especially when I introduce you to them. I bet you could click with them very well if you tried. And I promise, I'll be with you the whole time so that you don't get stressed out like before. You will? That's great! I can't wait to show you around. Now, have you ever played 7 Minutes in Heaven?